Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode, hey Sam, of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe, the Panther, the Bird, and now introducing from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek God.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? Are you ready to go to the circus?
Oh man, are you ready for the show? I gotta get my popcorn and my soda because let's give a warm. By the way, it's good to see your face again. Dudes at Ringside, welcome to the circus of pain.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Dudes at Ringside podcast, guys. We
Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. So if our fans are not familiar with you, introduce yourselves.
I am the prophet of pain, Shawn Baker.
I am the attraction, James Maxson.
And we make up 2/3 of the team, Circus of Pain.
So, individually, who trained you guys?
Well, we were trained together.
Yeah, we were trained together.
Okay.
Rocky Rage at the House of Rage Wrestling School in West Virginia. He trained us.
Okay.
Fantastic trainer. Can't say enough good things about him.
Cool. Good to hear.
How did you guys get together as a tag team?
Well, really, it was
happenstance at first.
Yeah, it's our first time tagging was just we were thrown together because we needed a team to go up against. It was the Cuban Mercenaries. Was that their name?
Ronnie and Cuban Mercenaries.
Yeah, that's what it was. We were thrown together for that, and we've known each other for a while, so we have really good chemistry anyway. And we're like, we need a name, so we dubbed ourselves the Circus of Pain. Fast forward about
8 months.
Yeah, 8 months, and another opportunity arose for us to work together again, and we kicked the crap out of the new breed, like we always do, because the new breed sucks, and the Circus of Pain is amazing.
Exactly.
They're terrible bunch of children.
Yes.
When you guys sent us your pictures, I'm like, cool, we may have some cool neon makeup going today, but it's okay. It probably takes a long time to do makeup and stuff like that. So
it takes a while, and sometimes our makeup artist isn't here, so we wouldn't do a very good job of putting it on ourselves.
Our makeup artist is also Demonia.
Yes.
Well, if you're watching, you're okay. Yeah.
Well, she's the third member of Circus of Pain, and she does really good jobs at like just making us look presentable. It's just I can't sing her praises enough. She does fantastic.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's hard on herself about it and thinks it's not good, but
whenever literally everyone,
it's like with everybody. Like when you draw, like me, when I draw, I have my own character. Like I do that with my stuff too. Like I think
you're your own biggest critic.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to be, because it's always hold yourself up to a higher standard than you will ever be at. That way you can just keep getting better.
Yep.
I just want to say, you guys' makeup looks freaking amazing. Also, you guys really go into detail with the clown stuff. You guys look really terrifying, which is
thank you. It's all about presentation. You got to look the part, and if we look fantastic, people are going to remember that, and that's your entire job as an entertainer, is to stand out and be remembered.
Especially in the wrestling world, because male wrestlers are a dime a dozen. If you don't stand out, there's somebody next in line to take your place.
I've seen it happen too many times to count. You got to do, like, it's a very dog eat dog world. It's become very cooperative lately, but it's the whole protect your spot thing is still there. Everyone wants that TV time, so to speak, to go out there and do what they do best. And you got to make sure that you're staying in the fans' minds as best as you can.
Yeah. So who would be legitimate right now in any of the indie promotions you watched, in any other states? What tag team would you be like? You've been watching and having an eye on them, and you would want to go face them?
I want Dark Clouds again.
Yeah.
I want Dark Clouds again.
I want the opportunity to actually beat the crap out of Dark Clouds because I wasn't able to make it to the last time. Dark Clouds, Heat Seekers.
Yeah, the Heat Seekers. Elliot Sigmund and
I can't remember the other guy's name.
No, Matt Sigmund and Elliot something. I don't remember his last name.
The Heat Seekers. That's their names. I could keep going for hours.
I want the Mortons. I want Ricky and Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They're gonna be in town soon, aren't they?
Yeah, next Friday.
There's actually a tag team. I think you guys, the three of you, would actually mesh well with. There's a tag team down south, actually in CCW, in Coastal Championship Wrestling. They call themselves Mosh and Mayhem.
Oh, I'll have to look them up.
And they have like a manager too. So,
oh, sweet.
Double manager.
So
we took a huge inspiration from the Menagerie from TNA. We took a huge inspiration from them whenever we decided, what are we about? Like, what everyone needs to somewhat have a role. So, like, if we're going to do a stable and it's not just a 2-man team, because right now it's just 3 people. We have had conversations and bringing in someone new, so stay tuned for that. But we had a whole conversation about, well, what's everyone's roles? We don't want to bring someone in just for them to be forgotten or just for them to just be there. We need everyone to feel like they are necessary in this team. So we took a lot of inspiration from the Menagerie and TNA whenever we were looking to bring in new people and to make this more than just a basic bog standard tag team, which it never was. But to take it to the next level, we need to treat it like it is the most important thing in the world to us, because it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Menagerie, this goes for anything, movies included, and music. Who would you guys say your favorite clowns are?
Favorite clown? I love the Joker. I've loved the Joker since I was 10 years old. Like Mark Hamill as the animated Joker and the video game Joker. Heath Ledger as the live action Joker was really good. Tim Curry was fantastic. No, Tim Curry wasn't. Who was it? Jack Nicholson. Yeah. He was fantastic, and I could just keep going. I love the Joker.
I'm real big on Rob Zombie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually went back and watched House of 1,000 Corpses and Devil's Rejects multiple times in the last couple weeks.
Devil's Rejects is another vibe that I get from us too.
I think I saw that movie with Joe, actually.
Do what?
I think I saw House of 1,000 Corpses.
I think it was with you, or did we go see The Hills Have Eyes?
We saw The Hills Have Eyes in the theater, but I think we saw House of 1,000 with Tom.
I remember when that guy got dragged onto the mountain and he broke his leg. I was like, "Oh, dude, no!" That's all I said. Oh!
He went to Funky Town.
He did go to Funky Town.
Oh yeah, he got dragged and. You know what's funny? You mentioned Tim Curry. You know, Rob Zombie. I'm surprised he didn't grab it and do his take on it.
He probably couldn't get the rights for it.
Yeah,
that's probably all it was. I'm sure Rob Zombie would love to do something like that if he could.
Yeah, because he did Jason, and he changed that idea in your head that him just being a messed up looking person that got drowned in a lake. He ended up being a psycho that lived under the camp.
He's got personality too. It's hard to take
too, Joe.
It's hard to take a quiet, like mute person and give them personality, especially if they're behind a mask. But he found a way to do it, and it's all in the performance too. I forget the actor that played Jason in that movie, but he's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't grab Freddy too. You know that?
Do what?
That's right. He didn't grab Freddy too, because if he could make Jason have personality, imagine what he could have did with Freddy. Like
that'd have been good. I've never been like the biggest Freddy fan in the world. Like I like Nightmare on Elm Street, but like Freddy just never really did anything for me. It was never scary, never imposing or anything like that. Not to me, at least.
He's too. What's the word? He's too.
Beetlejuice. He's too like
Beetlejuice. Like, you know you're gonna die, but then he's gonna make you laugh before you die. Like, do something stupid.
Like he can be very frightening, but I've just never been scared of him for the most part.
As a teen, I was only scared of the stupid stuff what Freddy do. Like if he brings you to like the boiler room, and it's like, oh my god, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And then he pops around the corner with the long arms. That freaked me out.
Well, it didn't help that Dokken made a Dream Warriors song, and Freddie was in that music video. It didn't help that they did that. That just ruined any bit of like fear that Freddie had. I don't know if y'all know who Dokken is or anything like that, but they're like an 80s hair metal band.
Yeah.
They got a song called Dream Warriors, and the entire music video is about people fighting Freddie.
And it's funny. I bought the reboot of Freddy on DVD. I didn't see it. I just bought it because I didn't go to the theater. I'm like, that is the worst waste of money that I ever. Here we go. Simpsons. Worst money spent ever. That's what I feel like every time I look at that DVD. Every time I see that freaking DVD, I do that. I'm like, next to Ghostbusters 2016. I'm like, you too. Both of you.
I didn't even watch that one. I didn't watch that movie. Yeah. I just saw the previews for it, and I tend not to watch previews anymore because
you need to see 2016. That's all I'm saying is.
Oh, Will Pop figures.
Egon is watching you.
Yeah,
Egon is watching you.
I didn't watch the movie because I was like, it just doesn't look good.
See the new one. All I'm saying is Egon is watching you and seeing everything you're doing.
I'll have to check it out. I didn't even realize they were making a new one until like it came out.
It's really good. It's heartfelt. It's a real heartfelt, and it's a real thank you, fans, for not running away.
Tuesday, Joe. Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Well, yeah, we have a new podcast starting Tuesday. If you guys are not busy, you should check us out. Popcorn.
Sweet. What is it?
Popcorny podcast.
Oh, sweet. Is it like a movie podcast?
Yes.
So
I'll check it out.
First episode is all about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh,
save it for Tuesday, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm so excited. I even have my
spoilers.
I even have my Ecto 1 book out ready to go.
That's cool.
Have props. Usually, I'm just dressed like this, and we all dress.
So, where are some of the places you guys want to travel to?
Everywhere.
That's the best answer, really.
Like my big goal is like the UK and Japan, but like realistically, if somebody's like, hey, I want you to come wrestle in Utah, I'll be there. I've never been to Utah. You know, I want to see cool stuff, you know. That's my goal, is just to be able to travel and see as much as I can and do what I love.
The East Coast would be cool if you guys travel over.
If you guys ever come to the East Coast, please let us know, because Long Island is a real hotbed for the independent wrestling scene.
Oh, yeah.
There's like three offhand that we could all tell you. Like
we were down to Burlington, North Carolina a couple times, and that was a lot of fun. We were down to, what is it, ALW, American Lucha Wrestling?
Yeah.
We went down there, and it's right across from the greatest plaza in the world. It's called Cum Park Plaza. It's amazing. I love it. But it was a lot of fun down there. I enjoyed it, and I'd love to go back. And I'd love to go all over the U.S., all over the world. Japan is my number one, though. I want to go to Japan.
Like the ones offhand right now, we could suggest you to try to go to if you come to Long Island is Cap. That's
Creative Pro.
Oh yeah,
Creative Pro.
Yeah,
Creative Pro. Victory Pro Wrestling. Another suggestion if you guys come east and come to Long Island, they let you run with your characters. They let you run and let you just go to town.
Sweet.
Everybody in Victory Pro is a character.
Everybody.
But good. You need to be a character.
Yeah. And if you're good on the microphone, like that promo you made for us, they'll be like, "Do it,
do it."
Oh yeah,
yeah. And the New York Wrestling Connection is another one's a really good one that everybody talks about a lot. Also,
and the new one. Tell them about the new one, Joe.
New one is called Outlaw.
Outlaw Wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think I've heard of that. Have you heard of that?
I've heard Deathmark tried to run something like that.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah. Where's it at?
It's they do two locations. They do it in Bayshore and then they do it in Queens.
Okay, then it's definitely not the one we're thinking of then.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
Must be another Outlaw.
I'd be all for it. I'd love to go up there and do what we do best.
There's a lot of good characters that you'll be able to see out here and be like, should I do that? Should I not do that? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that you could see, like There's a few characters that I could see you guys.
The coach. The coach is a cool character.
Yeah, it's a Coach Mamone. He's like an '80s coach for like one of those movies and stuff like that.
Carries the whistle and everything. He has the mustache and everything.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I like that. Hey, I'd be down for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm always down.
I'd take the coach to Funky Town. Take the coach to Funky Town.
He rips his pants off like Michael Jordan style when he
We've got a guy around here. His name is Shane Storm, one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen. He's been doing it since before.
Years.
He's been doing it since before the towers fell.
Oh, wow.
He so good at his job. He does. He wears like pants over his ring pants, and he just rips them off like that. And he'll do like the worst little stretches beforehand. He's just like the stretches. He does like weird little squats. It's amazing. He's just one of the funniest entertainers in the world.
And
you gotta get him and Coach together.
His tights are Rios' tights.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Essa Rios.
Yeah, he has Essa Rios' tights that he remade into chaps to wear over his tights.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
You funny you say Essa Rios. I actually have the pictures you go into your like sports stores as a kid. You go into, they have pictures of wrestlers that you could just buy.
Yeah.
I bought an Essa Rios picture only because Lita was in the picture.
Can't say I blame you.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame you.
That's fair.
It was the original Lita when she just had the red hair and she
when she was just getting herself over by doing moonsaults and stuff.
Yes.
And then she got more over than Essa Rios.
Oh my God, the crowd when his music would hit, the crowd would go absolute bonkers.
Oh yeah. Lita's one of my favorite female wrestlers of all time.
She can go. If there's any male wrestler that I would want to see face, it wouldn't want to be someone big, like someone like Essa Rios, Lita versus Rey Mysterio, like 90s Rey. That'd be a fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Not an old Rey because he got bad knees, but he still can go.
He goes like crazy, especially his feud with Seth Rollins last year. That was some of the best work I've seen Rey Mysterio do in a while.
Yeah, him and Dominic too.
Mm-hmm. Dominic I was surprised at how good he was.
Yeah.
He trained under Lance Storm. I'm not surprised.
We know someone that trained under Lance Storm also. A girl named Kiara from England. She trained under Lance Storm also.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to look her up. She trained under Lance Storm, and it's funny, like, we didn't even know who Kiara was, right, Geek?
Mm-hmm.
And one day she just came in our DMs on Instagram and was like, the podcast that was supposed to go on canceled. Can I come on? And I called Lance. I'm like, Geek, do you know who Kiara is? And he's like, no, who is Kiara? I'm like, I don't know. And then I find out she's a champion in England. Well, was a champion. And she came on and, oh, God, she became like our best friend. Like, it was fun.
You'll have that a lot, too. You'll have a lot of wrestlers that, like, come on, just like, you didn't necessarily ask for them. They're, like, filling in for somebody else or something like that. And they turn out to be extremely dependable, really good people, a lot of fun to be around. Like, you'll have that a lot in wrestling, and it's one of the greatest things about wrestling. I enjoy just meeting new people.
Oh, absolutely. I've met some of the greatest people I've ever met through wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I met a lot of people through this podcast, and I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Like, I had people from the Ghostbusters community. One guy, he's been busy doing his own thing, that I told him about the podcast. I thought maybe he'd come for like 1 or 2 episodes. In the beginning, he was here almost every episode on Twitch.
Yeah, he's a supporter. He's a supporter, right?
I know he's busy doing stuff. If you're watching this later on, thanks, Marauder.
Thanks for the support, dude.
Solid,
right?
bro. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay. So
who's a dream tag team you guys would love to face?
Like,
broken up or still together, you know what I mean? Like old school.
Like, are they still active or just?
No, it's a dream. It's a dream.
It's either.
Okay.
Either.
I'd love to face the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. Dudleys.
The Dudleys, hot take right now. The Dudleys are the single greatest tag team in wrestling.
I could agree with that, yeah.
I'm old school. I would go Steiner brothers for me. Steiners and Dudleys.
Steiners are good. I like Arn and Ole. Arn and Ole Anderson. They're really good.
Mm-hmm. Braun's really good. Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
God forbid he have his father's last name.
Well, Scott ruined that one for him.
Yeah,
dude, he's been killing it right now in NXT 2.0 right now.
He's been doing great. He's been doing awesome.
He's going to be a future star, I swear.
Yeah, he's going to be the face of NXT 2.0.
And his name, I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, wait, he's a Steiner, and they're not letting him be a Steiner? What?
It's probably a copyright thing.
It's a Scott Steiner thing.
Yeah, like they.
Yeah.
Steiner probably owned the rights to that name, so.
Yeah.
It sucks, but a name isn't everything.
Yeah.
Either that or they don't want him to get too much of a big ego, because there are a lot of egos in wrestling. You know what I mean?
Well, you kind of got to have one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying let your ego run everything you do, but like, if you know you're good, like, have that ego. Don't bring yourself down to other people's levels if it's like absolutely beneath you. I'm saying I'm doing a bad job at explaining this.
Like, you have to have an ego, but you have to be able to keep it in check.
I get what you mean.
Because you want to bring yourself down to someone who's someone else's level who's like, maybe I'm not that good. It's going to affect you and your work.
It's stay humble, but know your worth. That's what I was looking for. Stay humble, but know your worth.
But work together with everybody to make
absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like ego. Like, oh, it's like, I mean, ego. Like, you know, like you're trying to be better than everybody else is what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by ego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But wrestling is 100% a cooperation sport.
100%.
Like,
because nobody wants to work with somebody who has a huge ego.
Ask anybody that had to work Shawn Michaels in the 90s.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. He had the biggest chip on his shoulder, and nobody wanted to have the dip to eat it because the chip was stale.
And it's like, deservedly so. He was good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to be able to, put yourself in check and be like, hey, I'm being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's going to take me to Funky Town.
Didn't one of the guys do
Hogan,
that?
don't forget Hogan too.
Do what?
Hogan had a huge ego back then.
Oh yeah.
Too.
Hogan still has a huge ego.
Nobody wants to work really with Hogan because of his ego, you know?
Yeah, well, he did everything he could to try and keep himself as over as possible. And especially back then, I can't blame him, because back then it was literally like, if you like, TV time is currency, and if he's missing just a little bit of TV time, that's like, if you're gone for 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes the fans aren't seeing you, and that's 5 minutes that they have to move on to the next thing.
Yep.
So I can't say I blame him for having an ego and trying to push everyone else down, but that's just not the climate these days. It's not as bad that way these days.
There's so many different outlets now in the 2020s, and that you can use to stay relevant if you're injured or what have you.
And there's so many more places to work too.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been a better time to be a wrestler.
Oh, absolutely.
Or a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Or a podcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a podcast now. It's so easy to get on the internet and let your opinion be known.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig at anybody. It's fantastic. Everyone has an opportunity.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like everybody has their voice to be heard. It's not like the promotions can say, we don't know about this guy. But if they're on a podcast and then they see them,
it's so much easier for a promoter to find out what you do and who you are now, because if you get in touch with a promoter like, hey man, I'd love to come up and work for you. They're like, okay, send me your stuff. So you got to spend 6 months to send them a VHS of some of the work you've done, and it's in terrible quality. And then you find figure out another 3 months to find out if you even got hired. Now it's send me your stuff, and you send them a link to a bunch of YouTube matches that you got.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like
100%.
It's never been easier to get work.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like tomorrow we actually, I don't know if you ever heard of Larry Legend.
Larry Legend. That name sounds so familiar.
He's worked everywhere. He's worked everywhere.
I'm more of a face guy. I'm terrible with names.
He's worked. He used to be the host for Ring of Honor.
glasses. He was always with the nice jackets.
Yeah, always had a nice
I know
suit.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then next month, the following Monday, we have Marina Tucker.
Oh, really?
The Michigan, the Michigan,
Detroit Barbie.
Punch me.
That's awesome.
I'll take a punch from the Barbie. I'll take a punch. I'm 5'1". I will take a punch and make it look like when Shawn Michaels got punched by Tyson. I'll make Geek think I'm
sure where that was gonna go. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you were gonna say after that.
I'll even slip while I'm walking.
We don't know what people are gonna say on our podcast half the time because we had Stevie Ray on our podcast and he just flat out called Stone Cold the pussy right on the podcast randomly.
Dude, it's on TikTok. That it was on TikTok.
That's funny.
It's on TikTok, and you think that video would have went over to like a billion views, a billion on TikTok views.
That's funny.
And it only has 100 and something. I'm like, how does this video not have a billion?
How did this not blow up? This video.
How did this video not end up on WrestleZone?
Botchamania or something.
Botchamania, Unknown Podcast has Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat called Stone Cold Steve Austin expletive.
That's really funny. I just want to see Stone Cold react to that now.
Right. I want to see him too. I want to see him to come on the podcast.
I can see the face. My favorite
thing is just Stone Cold. Me imagining how Stone Cold would react to certain things. Like I watched the video of him trying different drinks. Sex on the beach. Everyone sex on the beach. You get sand all in your ass crack. What?
I remember that one. That was my favorite one video he did.
Ever So Spiffy said that was epic.
And then what else did we have? Oh, we had the owner or the COO of the indie promotion from England. That Kiara. He announced Kiara's return to the show they had last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Geeks, I knew because Kiara told me.
I didn't know.
I didn't tell Geek, but I knew because me and her became sort of buddies, and she told me on their Halloween because it was the day before or day after Halloween,
mm-hmm.
and it was day before Halloween. So she was dressed as Michael Jackson when she was telling me, "Joe, I'm coming back," and I was like, "Really?" And oh yeah, you'll hear about it soon. And then boom, he breaks the news. Geek's face is his new face on Facebook. It's just do the face. Yeah, that's his face on Facebook. That's his default picture now forever. So he has a new picture. That's his picture.
We love taking some of our buddies, taking some of their reaction faces to we got a buddy. We went to Quaker Steak, and we tried some of their Eat Heat wings, and it was really really funny. He was dying while he was eating it, and we had footage of it. And one of his faces, we all took a screenshot of it and made it our Facebook profile pictures. It was fantastic, and
the whole time I'm just sitting there is it hot, pussy?
Yeah, you're just memeing the entire time. You said, "Can you taste the wild berry?" I said, "The hell's a wild berry?"
I said, "It's a berry found in the wild, dumbass."
I'm surprised that face didn't blow up either. You know what I mean?
We could probably make it blow up.
All right, if you want to take a picture and just send it around, there you go.
How do you do? What would you have to do on Twitter, on TikTok, and be like their page, and then you have the picture of Geek.
There we go. Boom.
Oh God.
No.
That's as bad as yours, Geek.
You gotta get the one chip picture up too.
Boom.
Oh my God.
He did the one chip challenge there.
Jeez.
It's fantastic. I love it.
I remember all I could think is Geek with the face. Think of there you go. I think that picture they keep showing on all the memes of the wrestlers' faces, and then it had the Brazzers letters above the name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love every now and then I'll get pictures of someone. They took a picture of me in a video where I'm making a funny face, but it's because they paused it while I'm in the middle of saying something. So they're like, "Oh, you look funny here." It's I wasn't making a funny face. I was speaking and you paused the video. But go off. Go ahead. It's still funny. Go on. One of my favorite recent pictures is Santino Marella.
Oh, I thought you were going to call up the one from
just him from a Royal Rumble. I was cackling when I saw that. I don't know why. I was cackling.
Face when you make when you miss dudes at ringside and they have a big guest.
Yeah, this is my new reaction whenever someone says something stupid.
That's me all the time. That's that's Geek's face when I tell him that we have a show at 2:30 when he's about to eat dinner.
I spent 2 hours this morning just watching like some of the funniest answers on Family Feud. I love Steve Harvey. He's the greatest.
Man. I would love to just sit and talk to him about random stuff. Just drink a nice big glass of wine and we just talk about random stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think he smokes cigar. I'd be like, can I have a cigar? Boy, you're too young to smoke a cigar. I'm 38 years old, my friend.
Would you let Steve Harvey take you to Funky Town?
Yeah, sure.
I would.
Yeah,
I would. Would y'all let Steve Harvey take you to Funky Town?
Oh, I'll let him. I'll drink a glass. I'll let him drink me. Let me drink a little drunk first.
So you're okay.
He would have to announce us as the best podcast ever and take it away.
Well, Monday we're gonna ask Larry Legend see if he could welcome us on because we've had ring announcers. We had 2 straight ring announcers announce us on the screen. So that's Larry Legend. That's like I would have. God rest his soul. I would have loved to have Mean Gene Okerlund announce on the show. Oh my God! Right?
Mean Gene or Howard Finkel?
Howard Finkel and Bobby the Brain.
The voice of the 90s and 80s, Howard Finkel.
I miss Howie. I miss Howard Finkel
Welcome
so much.
To WrestleMania.
It's like that match that Edge and Randy had back at what was it? Backlash last year?
Yeah.
Whenever they piped in Howard Finkel's voice, I was like, this is awesome. I wish it was actually Howie though.
Yeah, me too.
Or the first house show I ever went to when I was like 13. He was the ring announcer for the night.
That's awesome. It's like you never realize just how much of a legend someone's going to be whenever you like see him, and then just 10 years down the road, you're like, oh, I was in the same room as that guy.
Like as I tell this to Geek, and Geek gets it, but then he kind of laughs when I say this. As a child of living on Long Island and living in the New York State, getting a chance to go to Madison Square Garden as a kid to see the golden era wrestlers and hearing Howard Finkel welcome you to Madison Square Garden, you got to take it. You're a little spoiled because you got the pipes of Howard Finkel and Madison Square Garden at the same time.
Yeah.
And the 90s golden era people coming out to the ring. So you got the likes of Hogan, Texas Tornado, Rick, Roddy Piper, $1 Million Man, the Warlord, all those guys. And you got Ricky Steamboat, Haku. My childhood was spoiled.
Randy Savage.
Well, I didn't get a chance. Randy Savage wasn't at any of the shows I saw, but
damn.
Yeah, that's sad.
I just wish I was alive back then, or not necessarily alive, but because I was alive for some of it.
Yeah.
But I wish I was old enough to comprehend it and just be able to go to those shows.
I wasn't close enough to get high fives from any of the guys, but I was there. Here we go. I was there when they announced Andre the Giant died.
Oh, man.
I was at the Garden. Yeah, you could hear a pin drop. The whole Garden like.
I could believe it.
But Howard Finkel had some random news. He had announced a new Undertaker shirt with ripped sleeves, and then he went, what? The guy came in the ring. What? Oh. And then we have some bad news. And then he gives us the bad news. I'm like,
That's some of the stuff that like you never see whenever you're like live at the show or like you're watching it on TV. You never see the stuff they do before the show goes live. And that's just like a special privilege for the audience in attendance. And sometimes it's not good news, but you're like
special privilege.
Yeah.
That was one of those shows that
it is a privilege.
On the network. Yeah.
That's especially think about back then whenever Andre died. You didn't have the internet. You can't go online and see Rick Astley died, and then you click the link and you're getting Rick rolled for the 48th time of your life.
Yeah, God damn it.
No, you had to get a news article and then wait a week for it to see if it was true or not.
Yeah. I think that was
I remember WrestleZone back in the day when WrestleZone first started. I don't know if Joe remembers this. Click here to find out about this story. Click here. I'm like, it it bring you to like another web page. I'm like, damn it, so, you know.
And then someone gets on the phone and you just ruin everything you're doing.
Yeah. It go Imagine this podcast in the 90s. I don't think we'd be able to talk to people like this. We would have to go to their house or just make a video and then
exactly. We'd have to.
You probably wouldn't really be able to do a video podcast. It would just be you guys, but you'd have to do they'd have to call in.
Yeah, be on the phone.
It would be like that. It would be like our podcast we did in college, Joe.
And also, as Mod says, and the website would have a virus. And virus. No DQ. That's the website that all wrestling fans. You say the name and they cringe. They give those faces like your buddy did. Like no DQ.
Aaron Rift, right there. All I could say is Aaron Rift. Thanks to no DQ, Aaron Rift.
I say the name and I cringe. I'm like, oh no DQ. No, I'll find another website to look up. No, I don't want a virus.
See, I was lucky enough to not really start getting on the internet until I was like 9. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of it because I'm a youngin'. I was born in 97, so
wow. Okay, I forgot the year Andre died. I think it was
93.
Yeah, it was a show in 93. It was a 93 show. The garden still had that smell of old beer and hot dogs.
It probably still has that smell, honestly.
I haven't been there I've been living
not anymore. It's changed so much. It's still a historic building, but I still think they ruined it when they put that bridge there.
Yeah,
I've never been, so I wouldn't know. I want to go. That's another one on my bucket list. I'd love to wrestle in.
Joe would be disappointed if he had to see that bridge. You know,
I'd be like, what the fuck is this on top of the garden? That'd be me. No.
That bridge is horrible.
There's a few places
now it smells like new beer and hot dogs.
Beer and hot dogs.
Over $12 hot dogs and total $25. What?
I'm not even getting a handshake.
Yeah, nope.
It's bullshit.
Yes, I don't want the hot dog, and now I really don't want the beer. I'll just have a zip. Can I just have a zip?
Taking you to Funky Town.
Madison Square Garden, thanks for the memories, but you really didn't need to put that bridge right there.
Yeah.
I'd still love to wrestle in it. I don't care what happens, what they do to the building.
I'm jumping off the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Catch me.
Headbutt off the bridge.
Catch me, brother.
I was lucky enough to actually see the New Japan Ring of Honor show in the Garden to see.
The Card of Honor gimmick, yeah.
Yeah, G1 Supercard.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome show. I marked out when Minoru Suzuki was number 2 in the Battle Royal. Friggin' awesome, and to see Great Muta,
so good.
See Muta being number 30. Nobody knew about it. Was awesome.
You should ask the guys, Geek, the question you told to Masha and see how they react.
Oh. All right. Would you guys rather take a chop from Walter or a forearm from Minoru Suzuki?
Yes.
Which one?
Both.
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking the chop from Walter.
If you're taking the chop, I'll take the forearm then.
See, I can bump off the chop and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Suzuki can just hold you and unload.
I'll take it. I don't care.
Those forearms, I see them on TV. Those look brutal, dude. You know?
That's wrestling. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever seen is you want something to look as real as possible? Fucking hit them.
Yeah.
Don't try to kill them, but lay it in.
He lays it in when he comes to those elbows. Sometimes
when I watch Minoru Suzuki, I say, stop, he's already dead.
He's already dead.
No, I keep sending that to his Geek's girlfriend. There's a meme that I sent because somebody was saying something and Geek and I were like, dude, whatever. The person's mean. And she's like, no, stop it. No. And then I kept texting her this. That's you. That's you, me. That's you. That's you. She's like, oh, come on, Joe. Like, no,
one of the greatest reactions to getting forearmed by Minoru Suzuki was Moxley. Whenever he hit him with that forearm, he goes he has to take a second. I was like, because you just got forearmed by Minoru Suzuki. It's definitely not what you expected. You can,
but you're probably like, it's on bucket list right there. Like,
oh, he was pooping himself. He was like, "This is amazing."
He lost him in his pants.
I've done it.
Look, that forearm is what fixed the brain cells in his head to make him go, "I need to go to rehab."
Yeah, did pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh gosh, breaking news. We're gonna get canceled.
Am I canceled now? It's a good thing. He went to rehab.
Give it the three.
Congratulations.
Canceled.
We're gonna get flagged by AEW. Oh no, right?
Well, AEW already doesn't like me. I know they keep trying to send me boxes telling me to love them. So nah, man, we good, man. I know where I
mean, it was a good thing. He went to rehab. It's great.
Yeah, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. He did.
I'm so fixed, sort of.
Oh.
Every dog needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Some should when you get them, but sorry.
Remember kids, or remember people, spade and neuter your animals.
Yes.
Who would you
the
say,
kids have nothing to do with it.
Who would you say took the worst forms from Monaro?
Who took the worst one? Worst as in like ugh, or worst as in
that
was
ow,
bad.
like ow, right?
I don't know.
Whatever poor bastard decided to piss him off that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm gonna say Okada.
That's fair. Yeah.
I could believe that.
Okada, I think it was the UK show when Suzuki was just laying it in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was what show was that? It was for the title. It was Okada. Okada was the champion. Minoru Suzuki was challenging him, and he was just laying those forearms in there. Yeah. And Okada was just standing there like.
But if you have Japan versus Japan, you know it's going to be hard hitting because those they're just tough. They just kill each other every time they're out there, and they just expect it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like there's any wrestler out there right now that I would love to see get hit by the elbow. I want to see MJF get the elbow. Just have him say something really stupid to Okada, and Okada just like just lay him out.
But MJF just has a face you want to punch, and that's perfect for him. Like he gets the most heat in the world because of it. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And he just knows the right things to say to piss people off.
There's a guy on the East Coast who could probably have him beat.
Who's that?
Joe, do you want to tell him? You know.
Johnny Collins.
Johnny Collins?
Johnny Collins.
I've never heard of him.
He thinks he's tough because he's
a rich boy from the Hamptons is his gimmick.
Yeah. Okay.
And he comes out with the sunglasses on and everything. And he talks smack to people.
And he's got the voice like Mickey Mouse. And the head like Lollipop.
I'm gonna whip your ass, buddy.
Yes.
He's a great.
Am I
he's
right?
A great hero.
That's my. All I can think is him doing the voiceover for that TikTok meme. That's like, get out here, get your ass out here,
Mike, my bitch. Yeah.
That's like my favorite meme. That's like I said that to the mod. Cyber So Spiffy. So that's me and Geek fighting after the 5th show in July when I came to his house. Get out here, bitch! Get out here and fight, bitch! And Geek could be goofy because he's big and doofy.
So Joe will be Mickey because he's short.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm a little tough ass that's on camera. That's why. All the girls like me.
Your wife because she's a little silly. No, I said she's fucking goofy. Oh man, I'm just popping myself now.
Oh,
This podcast has been fun. I mean, we haven't had to ask any questions. We just
okay. Here we go. Something funny. What cartoon would our show be on if you could see the art?
What cartoon would it be on?
Like what channel? Like Cartoon Network, Fox, or Adult Swim?
Disney.
Fox.
Disney?
Yeah.
You think Fox Sunday cartoons?
Yeah.
I think
Animation domination. 100%.
Yeah. Would you want to put it like as like a Bob's Burgers kind of show, like Joe and Metal Geek? They have like a restaurant, a radio station, or they do like a podcast.
Oh no! Wait, better one. FX.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. FX.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So one person said we're like Cartoon Network. I'm like, I mean, we're like Teen Titans. They're like, oh yes, you guys are like Teen. I'm like, means I have to do the waffles dance and do twerk while I'm doing it. Waffles, waffles, waffles.
Oh, you talking about Teen Titans Go?
Yeah, that's like
I haven't seen any of that. It's not the same as the original Teen Titans.
Yeah, I know the one you're
Titans
talking about. They do some funky stuff on that. They bring them to Funky Town.
They took them to Funky Town.
They do. It's.
You find out what happens to Raven when she hangs out with Cyborg a little too much.
Yeah. Hold up. That just took a turn.
Yeah.
Cyborg, I didn't know you could shake like that.
Yeah, well.
Cyborg's got moves.
Yeah. I've had my sister joke to me because I started growing the mustache, and I think I was wearing a white shirt and came up the stairs, and she's, oh my God. I'm like, what? She's like, you now have the you could pull a full-on Bob's Burgers if you wanted to. I'm like, what? Now, just you don't need the red glasses. Just talk with a scratchy voice and be like, Gina, I just think you need to do something else. Dad.
We know a guy who looks like a real life Bob's Burgers character, and it's just amazing. Like his facial features just perfectly fits.
It screams Bob Burgers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say his name, but if you know, you know.
Oh God.
Oh.
In college, me and Geek were like Beavis and Butthead, so I think our show would be like Beavis and Butthead because we'd be sitting there watching instead of doing we'd be doing the show, and it's like it's
like Wayne's World but for wrestling.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Definitely, that's our podcast right there.
That's gonna be Monday when we're not worthy. Geek's gonna be doing that for Larry Legend. But Geek, stop crying. No, I need a moment. I made fun of Geek when he sent us the video, his preview video, which I'll post it later on. I sent Geek the crying emoji, and I said you. I sent him the video. I said you, and I put he said my name.
Listen, it's like popping for people, like marking out is the greatest. Like I'm still a fan.
100%.
The way I see it is like if you stop being a fan of the business, like you need to quit because like did you just find
bunch of crunch in
the floor?
What? Is it unopened?
It is unopened.
Wow. I'm a Ghostbusters fan right now. The only thing is, are you telling me I deserve this?
like that's. I want a bunch of crunch now.
I know.
What was I saying?
Nailed
it. You need to be like never get jaded whenever you're in this business because that's just like the kiss of death. Don't get comfortable. Like
never stop being a fan.
Yeah, because that's the reason why you even started wrestling is because you were a fan of the business and it's something that you wanted to do. So you saw someone on TV and they were like, they inspired you to do what you want to do because you were a fan of them. So never stop being a fan. Never stop marking out for people that you enjoy. Like just a few months ago, we were in the same room as Jerry Lawler, and we got to watch him wrestle Shane Storm, and I was just bouncing up and down like a giddy kid. I was so excited. I was like, "That's Jerry Lawler." Yeah. I've been watching him on TV for years.
Yeah, it's hard because there's certain wrestlers that like you've watched as a kid, and then you finally get a chance to like. Sit there and talk, like either shake their hand and you have to walk away. Like me when I went to New York Comic-Con like 2 or 3 years ago, I was walking around my Ghostbusters stuff and Sergeant Slaughter is sitting at the table signing autographs. I didn't have any money to buy an autograph. I just walked over. Hey Sarge, how you doing? How you doing, sir? How you doing? Mm-hmm. Whatever he calls the cable. And he just shook my hand and he absolutely crushed my hand. It didn't hit me until I'm like 5 feet away from him. Like, in the Warner Brothers cartoons when it's like, ding.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. When I got away from my hand wasn't hurting until I got like 50 feet away. I was like, the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I had that with Rhino.
Yeah.
Rhino was like, he only gave me a fist bump, but it was so hard. I just walked up to him and was like, how you doing, sir? And he just goes, nice to meet you. And he just like breaks my hand with the fist bump. I was like, wow. That's awesome. One of my favorite memories still, it's on my resume. I got kicked in the head by Davey Richards.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was awesome.
Davey's awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Davey's fantastic. He's I've had the opportunity to learn from him a couple times, and he's just a really good guy and a really good wrestler. He's got such a great mind for the business. And anytime I get a chance just to watch one of his matches live, because watching it in person as opposed to on TV, it's so much different. So if I get an opportunity to watch him wrestle, I take that opportunity because I've learned so much every time. And it seems like it comes so effortlessly to him.
Me and Joe watched Davey Richards before he made it to Impact.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in Ring of Honor with the American Wolves.
Yeah. He just got a rib injury, didn't he?
Yeah. Fractured a rib over.
And then he came back. He's back now.
Is he back already?
He's wrestling on shows, but is he injured again or?
Yeah,
he came back. His first match that we're aware of back was at ASW, All-Star Wrestling here in West Virginia. And he won the
heavyweight title.
Yeah, he won the ASW heavyweight championship from Ron Mathis. That guy needs to be signed, by the way. Ron Mathis is amazing.
Yeah.
But so he's been ASW's champion for a little bit, and he just wrestled at WrestleCade too, didn't he?
Yeah, defending the title.
Yeah. And we just found out a couple days ago that he fractured a rib. So we're like, oh no, what's Gary going to do?
Jeez.
Quite a few wrestlers that were at WrestleCade.
Oh yeah, there was a lot. George South.
WrestleCade. WrestleCade's a big event, and so is the big event in New York.
Mm-hmm.
We had what's her name? Oh my God.
Woad.
We had the Woad on the podcast recently.
Oh, really?
Yes, she was so cool. She had some stories, dude. That you'd be like, she's a tough lady right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I love just being able to sit and talk to someone that's been in the business for a while, or at least been around the business for a while.
Absolutely.
Because like the stories they tell you, yeah, they're just stories, but at the same time, you can learn a lot from them if you're paying attention. I love it.
And she's a sweetheart too.
I love the when the wrestlers tell stories because it makes the show interesting, and for people that watch our show, it's like, wow, it's inspiring somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But now my question to you guys is, do you guys have any stories?
It's like back in August, I got stuck with a drunk Chase Stevens.
Oh, geez.
I don't know if you remember Chase Stevens. It
sounds familiar. Was he in the Naturals in
in TNA? Yeah.
TNA.
So I was at a show, and the guy that he rode with had something come up and he had to leave. And he's like, "Hey, Chase's car is in this town on the way back to your house. Do you care to drop him off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, it's cool. It's on the way." And so as Chase and I are leaving the building, he's like, "Oh shit, my car keys are still in this other guy's car."
Oh jeez.
And so he calls this guy, and this guy's on the way back to Bluefield, West Virginia, which is the complete opposite direction of where we're going.
It's like right on the edge of Virginia.
Yeah. And so he has to turn around and bring Chase's car keys back. So anyways, Chase is like, he was hammered all night. I mean, that's Chase Stevens. Like, it happens. So he's like, "Hey, you want to go eat? Like, I'll buy you dinner, whatever." Like, yeah, sure. So we ended up at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were there for like an hour and a half or more after they closed at midnight. And he was just hammered. But even in that moment of him being just gutted, I mean, he had been drinking all day and was still drinking at this point.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Dude can go to town.
Yeah, he can go to town. I counted 6 Jack and Cokes just at the restaurant.
But he still gave you some really good advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. It's like, even in that moment of him being absolutely blasted out of his mind, he gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten so far. And that is, well, he asked me, he said, "What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "Oh, I work for a landscaping company." And he goes, "No, you don't." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure I know what I do for a living." And he's like, "Oh, man, you're a professional wrestler. If people ask you what you do for a living, you're a professional wrestler. Don't tell them about your real job."
You take people to Funky Town every day.
Yeah. He's like, if you tell them you're just a professional
I don't work for
wrestler,
Coca-Cola. I don't work for Coca-Cola.
I'm not a grocery store associate. I'm a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster too.
It's because there's not many questions to be asked about a landscaper or a cook or a stalker at a grocery store. Most people have a baseline grasp on what those people do, but whenever you're like, oh, I'm a professional wrestler, there's at least 5 questions that just like come to some people's minds whenever they're like, oh, this guy's a wrestler. How much do you make? Is it real?
Have you ever been chokeslammed?
Yeah. How many stunners have you hit? Have you ever taken anyone to Funky Town?
I've had people have had the question, oh, you're a podcaster? Like, who do you talk to? I'm like, professional wrestlers?
It's the people don't, like, if somebody doesn't know anything, if they're smart, they're going to ask questions about it. So if someone asks me, they're like, what do you do? And I go, I'm a cook. They're like, oh, what do you cook? But if I go, I'm a wrestler, like, oh my God, have you met John Cena? Where have you wrestled before? It's how long have you been doing it? You know, stuff like, there's so many different questions that can be asked from an outlandish career.
Yeah. And to add on to his John Cena, just a little humble brag. John Cena follows me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but he does.
Is it the real John Cena?
Yeah, it's the verified account. Yeah.
Shady.
No.
Did he stand up?
ICP also follows me on Twitter, which is ironic now that we're doing the circus.
Yeah, a bunch of clowns.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right here. John Cena verified follows you.
I wonder why. I guess maybe he saw you're a wrestler and said, I want to follow him.
I have no idea, man. Like, I was just on Twitter one day, and like I liked one of his tweets, and then I got a notification that said he followed me. It's
the band that used to sing my entrance theme. They follow me on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, that's really freaking cool.
I've never had any wrestlers follow me back, but I have a lot of wrestlers that
I've had wrestlers follow us back.
Johnny Collins got mad at me because he said something about in a video with the girl in the video with them about Mike Tyson, and I tweeted back to him, please, Mike Tyson, punch him in the face. And I have the thing from Simpsons, Mike Tyson punching what's his name, the bartender in the face, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And he tweeted me back. Don't talk about my cousin like that.
That's funny.
I
guess he's the girl.
I'm blocked on Twitter by the Young Bucks, Kevin Nash, and JBL.
Why?
Shane Storm's blocked by OJ Simpson.
I don't know what I did to Kevin Nash. I don't know what I did to JBL. It's been so long ago. The Bucks, I told them they didn't know what wrestling psychology was and that it wasn't 50 super kicks in one match.
Oh.
They probably heard that.
I'd block you too. What an ass.
They're probably like, I've heard that before.
Oh no, Geek, it's happening.
What?
We're breaking up the tag team. No.
How dare you?
It happened on 2 different sides.
How dare I care about tag team wrestling?
Yeah.
No, it's happening, Joe.
Who would want to be a tag team wrestler?
Yeah, right.
That just sounds terrible.
We broke
that
up the tag
awful.
team. They're back together again.
Oh.
For that cheap pop right there.
James is one of my best friends. Like, I've known him for years. And it just works so perfectly that we get to do what we love together because we've got such amazing chemistry.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just, we get wrestling the same way. We're so stupid with some of the jokes that we make. Like, we've got something that we do before every match. In the ring, I just go, hey, give me some Finn. Noggin. Dude. It's straight from Finding Nemo, but we do it in every freaking match. It's just little things like that just keep it keeps us happy in the team, because if you're not happy in the team, you're not going to do well. And this is someone you're going to be spending a lot of time with. So make sure it's one of your best friends and make sure that if y'all fight, you can get past it.
Absolutely.
Me and Joe fight all the time, though.
Oh, my God. One time we fought right before a show. I was upstairs in my house because my parents went to do something. I had the headset on. And before the guests even came into the screen, I was full on high adrenaline, freaking screaming, you son of a bitch, you fucking asshole. Yeah. And like full on Italian. I was biting the lip and everything. Like,
I've seen partners at each other's throats, then their music hits and they go out and they act like they're best friends.
What?
Yeah.
And like there's gonna be times where you have to do that, and that's okay. It's just a matter of if you can be professional whenever the time comes.
Yep.
And then our mod is in the background, like, and then our mod is in the background. Wait, where's the picture again? Where's the picture again? And then the mod is in the background.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Now, where's the
That
picture
meme that the
now?
dog, everything is fine.
I'm a dog in a house fire. This is fine.
They actually have a
This is
new one
fine.
for the new Ghostbusters movie, and they did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the Marshmallow Man in a burning house, and he's melting. Everything is fine. Everything's burning. He's melting.
Yeah. But no, it's. I'm just happy to be able to be doing my favorite thing in the world with one of my favorite people.
Absolutely.
Sweet boy talk. And now we hate each other again.
It's fun to do things with, like I said, the geek was been at my throat for like a long time to do a podcast. And this one, I had a regular computer. I would have been like staring up like this to look at the screen because it would have been regular computer screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching two different podcasts. One that was both of them were Ghostbusters reference, and they're really cool. Like one was the Yes Have Some podcast, which they talk about wrestling, they talk about toy collecting, like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, all that stuff. And I'm like, man, and Geek is going to do a podcast. We're going to do a podcast. It was like Frozen. Do you want to do a podcast? No.
That's funny.
How about?
Do you want to watch some wrestling? Come
And
on,
then I
Mr.
sent the
Stunner.
Yes, and then
Joe was the one that never wanted to do the podcast. So there you
no,
go.
I didn't. And then I saw Yes Have Some, and these other guys having so much fun making fun of each other, joking with each other. And I'm just like, these guys are making fun of each other. They have their girlfriend there and making fun of each other. Oh my god, I'm down. We decided
When you put aside how much work it can actually be, you can be like, oh, it's a lot of fun, and it makes the work that you're having to do for it worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, I love doing this podcast with Joe. It's so fun,
And-
so much fun. You have
And
no
my
idea.
parents are somewhat helping me because I have like the letter I send to the wrestlers. Originally, it was so long-winded. You're like, maybe, but now it's my mom changed it so it's like understanding. It's like give me your time your location you live in, like time zone, the fun stuff.
Yeah,
It's a fun letter. It's not like you have to like read it like.
Our letter kind of looks like spam in a way.
But if you read it like Johnny Five, you have to. If the old letter, you would have to read. Johnny Five.
yeah.
You have to read it like Johnny Five.
Yeah, read it off like an auctioneer.
Nah, not doing
Yeah.
it. But now it's just like, oh, they're not asking for money. They just do it for the love of wrestling.
Yeah,
Still ain't like them.
it's a non-profit organization.
Yeah,
Exactly.
here it is. The
Please
wrestling
support the
system
official
is-
release.
And we will definitely be sending you guys a fun Dudes at Ringside podcast sticker.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll put
That's
that
what-
on my PlayStation.
I have, if I could pick up my thing and it wasn't all plugged in, I have
Record player.
2 Ghostbusters stickers on my PlayStation. I have one that's shaped like a donut, a Ghostbuster sticker.
Oh, that's cool. Shaped like a donut.
Yeah, it's a donut with the Ghostbuster guy, and he's like, and he bit the donut.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
It's so funny. I was laughing at it. Like, guy from England sent me that one.
I've got a Macho Man sticker for my van that I got. I've got a Kane sticker that I don't want to put on my van because it's not necessarily meant for like cars. I've got some Pokemon stickers because I'm a nerd.
Geek. Oh, we're all nerds here. Don't worry.
Pokemon right there. There you go.
Oh, geek. You got to put that meme. Did we just come be best friends?
We just became best friends. There you go.
Hold up. That's not it. Here we go.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
There you
I've got
go.
a lot of. I'm a huge nerd, and I've just recently been getting into the trading card game of Pokemon. I've got a lot.
I collect
God.
Ghostbusters stuff.
I play Go a lot.
I like Go. It's a lot of fun, but I prefer the original games. Like,
Yeah.
It's
That's
funny.
all. I'm not going to get into a huge nerd spiel.
I laugh at Geek when he starts going into his nerd rant. He starts hyperventilating. He gets mad at me because I start talking about Ghostbusters and he gets all mad. But yet he's Mr. We used to get in this fight because the game for Pokemon Ghostbusters came out with theirs, Ghostbusters World, and Geek's
Did they?
yeah, they got rid of it because the server had to get shut down. It was just like Pokemon Go, but you fight the ghosts and then you trap them.
The same idea.
You have them
all about the Harry Potter one that was made.
Yeah, it's made by the same company. It's made by the same company that makes Pokemon Go.
I never played that one. They just made a
Jurassic Park one too.
They just made.
I played the Jurassic Park one. I didn't like it. I was like,
they actually have a new one.
With Pikmin.
No, there's a new one that's going to be made by Niantic, which is the same company that made both of them. And instead of hunting Pokemon, you're hunting Bitcoin.
You're hunting Bitcoin?
I don't trust that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it. I mean, it's made by Niantic.
You're making money while you're playing the game instead.
I don't trust that. We had something happen to somebody with that. No.
I'd let other people try it first and see if it's credible.
Bad, I'll try it and get rich. Fuck you, man.
I don't know. You may get some weirdo trying to get you to do something, and then there goes your Instagram page.
Take me to Funky Town, and I'll give you $5,000.
Yep. Oh, if I wasn't so close to my desk, I would show you my my coin jar. I have like wrestler stickers that they gave me. I got Billy Starks. I got Billy Stark. You know who that is?
I've heard of Billy Starks.
Yeah, she was just on. What did I watch her on? OVW not too long ago.
She's one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet in the wrestling business. I guarantee it.
Wrestling's full of just really nice people, and I love that.
And it's funny with her. She
not all
could
the time.
Be angry. Sorry,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Joe, me and Joe know from the podcast, right?
But it's definitely not all the time. There's some right pricks in wrestling, but
I can name a few.
But majority of the people with me and Joe are the nicest people ever. You know?
Yeah. We still talk to a lot of people, like Shorty from the UK that we're having on back in a few weeks. She became my friend on my Instagram page. Every morning I go, good morning, and she goes, good afternoon.
Yeah.
And I go, ha ha.
Time zones.
I send her the little kid going.
I see what you did there.
She's a toughie right there. She said she'd do hardcore matches, and me and Geek were like, really? She's like, yeah, I want to do hardcore matches.
That's one of my favorite things to do, man.
Mm-hmm. I just did a street fight a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was filling in for you because your appendix decided to die on you. And
geez.
Hashtag memories.
Yeah.
I did a street fight, and it was a lot of fun. It's my favorite moment favorite match at this moment. Like, I love it. I'm yet to do anything really hardcore. I'd be down for it for the right amount of money, but because I'm not about to go out there and damn near kill myself for a hot dog and a handshake. But
yeah,
it's a free hot dog.
Free hot dog, man.
It is a free hot dog. But I could go to Sheetz and pay $1 for 2 hot dogs. So
yeah.
No, but what's the worst spot you think you ever taken so far?
Worst bump?
Yeah, worst bump you've ever taken.
The apron STO. It was an ASW. Mathis gave it to me. It was the Halloween show. So
I know what you're talking about.
Mayhem and Logan, I think.
Yeah.
Against Mathis and Bruce. And Mathis gave me an apron STO. And he gave it to me on the side of the ring that had a gap on the frame.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever taken an atrocious bump.
Bullshit, you haven't. The Battle Royal and Gilbert.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that bad though. That wasn't that bad. Bruce Gray. Bruce Gray. We were doing a Battle Royal, and he had me in the corner, and he was working me over, and I went over. And funny side note, I had just cut the crap out of my thumb at work. I was cooking and I accidentally just like sliced my thumb really, really bad. So I had it wrapped up. I had super glue on it and I had it wrapped up. The wrap kept coming off, so I just said, screw it, and I took it off. Went out there for the match, hopped up onto the apron. My hand grabbed the rope and it just slid down and it ripped that super glue off. So my just thumb was exposed and like there was flesh and there was bleeding. The match hadn't even started and I looked down and I go, huh. This is ASW's first battle royal where someone's gotten color. So I'm just bleeding out of my thumb like profusely the entire match. So it's I made it a point to try and chop people with that hand so I can get a bloody handprint on their chest. Anyway, so he's got me in the corner and he's working me over to get me out and he just pushes me over. And I just I did like 2 flips on the way down. So I just go flip one, see someone. I'm like, I hope they move. Flip again. My back's on the ground. And it wasn't that bad. I didn't get hurt, but apparently everyone thought I died. They're like, oh my God. And like, I'm just laying there and the fans just looked at me. They're like, oh,
is there a video of this? I have to see this.
There is footage of it somewhere. I'll have to ask Aaron. I think Aaron has it. I can try and get the footage and I can send it to you. I'll actually.
Yes.
He might be busy right now, but I'll see if.
And do you mind if we post it also on the Dudes at Ringside page?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you might have to zoom into it because the footage was like a little bit further back.
It was crowd footage. Aaron's wife records a lot of this stuff.
I mean, he took an atrocious bump, like literally
2 seconds later.
Yeah, so you could show that too.
Oh, geez. Let me put that face up, your friend's face, like this. At the end, the opposite.
Yeah, he in that battle royal, that happened to him. And Aaron, the guy is texting right now.
He took an apron line.
Yeah, they went to do a clothesline. He was going to bump on the apron and roll to the floor. And somehow they had practiced this 3 or 4 times before the show. And so when it comes time to like execute, he takes the line and somehow misses the apron entirely and just falls straight to the floor.
Yeah, because I remember I thought I heard another bump after I hit the floor, but I was like, oh, maybe that's just my brain being rattled from hitting the floor so hard. It didn't hurt at all, but like it just went boom, boom. And I was like, okay. And I get up, my hand's still bleeding, and I look over and Aaron's standing there. I'm like, when'd you get eliminated? And I get backstage and I found out what happened with him. And I saw the footage. I was like, wow, if one of us would have just gone a second earlier or later, we could have just done it at the same time.
My favorite thing about that, too, is when Aaron took that bump straight to the floor, Ricky Morton is standing in the back watching it, and he goes, what in God damn, what in God's name?
We had Riley Rocket on the podcast also.
Riley Rocket?
Yeah.
Who's Riley Rocket? The name sounds extremely
a student of Ricky Morton.
Yeah, she's a student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another nice person. She's really sweet and really cool. Actually, she swerved on us. We're like, she sent us this picture. Her promo was like, "Hi, I'm Riley Rocket and watching Dudes at Ringside." And then like after we separate with her, we haven't. The show's over, and then I see stuff later in the week, months. I see pictures of her with a cowboy hat on, with a shirt with the horns on it, and I'm just like, I messaged her, "Did you just turn heel?" And she's like, "No, I was a heel the whole time I was on your podcast." I'm like, damn, that smiley face would have took a chair to I thought, oh my God, she would have chaired my head and then smiled like you and skipped off.
Taking you to Funky Town.
And of course it'd be me because I'm always like, yeah, so you said down goes Panther.
Yeah, I hope I can get that footage because I completely forgot about that bump.
Yeah.
I was just going to talk about the time that I hyperextended my knee on Mother's Day.
Oh, God.
I was when we started, Joe. Man, all these stories are coming out now.
I was just working a match and I was working the arm. So I went to do the whole like stun gun thing with their arm through the middle rope. And I did that and I dropped to the floor and my legs were just straight. So my foot decided to meet my hip and I was like, I was laying in the ground in excruciating pain. I couldn't walk for like 3 weeks after, or at least not well for 3 weeks after that. But I'm all better now.
Listen, I wrestled that Survivor Series gimmick, 2 weeks after having my appendix out?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was like, is he okay to do that? And you're like, oh, we have a plan for it. Don't worry.
Yeah. That's insane.
So what would you say your favorite match of all time is, you guys?
Of ours or just in general?
In general.
I guess in general, I guess.
We
were just talking about it earlier, and I always go back to it. Punk, Cena, Money in the Bank 2011.
That's a lot of
people love that match. You know?
I can't say that I have like a favorite match because it would change all the time. But one of my favorite matches was, I forget exactly the year. It was Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Kennedy, Armageddon, like 06 or 05, I think. I think it was 05. But just for some reason, I just really, really love that match. I can't explain it to you. There's nothing super stand out about it, but I just really like it. I wouldn't call it my favorite, but it's just because I can't say I have a favorite because it would change every single day.
And I've said this on the podcast before. Mine would always have to be my all-time favorites, Okada Omega 4.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Because I'm a New Japan guy, that's all.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now. What would my favorite match be? Because I really like I forget what year it was, but it was old school. It was the Fantastics versus the Midnight Express for the NWA US Tag Team Champions.
Is that the one that Davey sent us?
Yeah. Davey Richards sent us that match to study, and I fell in love with it. It was a really good match.
That had to have been like early 80s.
Yeah, it was in the 80s, maybe 83, 86.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a really good match. I've been on a huge old school kick lately. Like I've been studying a lot of Arn Anderson and a lot of just like old school tag wrestling.
For me, my childhood match, only one guy is remaining alive in this match. It's SummerSlam 91, Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart.
Yeah.
That match got me really into the technical wrestling and like taught me that technical wrestling could rule the world, and they do. Like
Macho Man and Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 was really good.
And as a teen, my favorite match is, I say it all the time every time, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
When Rey wears the purple mask and it's like it's almost like a
bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
The bodysuit.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Yeah.
If WWE sold that as like a Halloween costume or like a pajama, I'd rock that.
Yeah.
A recent one that I really, really liked was Edge and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
That was a great match.
Peak ideas for Christmas presents. You got to get me a Rey Mysterio onesie. Yep, I'll wear it. Yep. Little footy pajamas with the black boots as shoe. Oh god, I'd wear the hell out of that. I wear that every day. My mom's like,
Joe, make sure you buy me a Fiend belt while you're at it.
What?
The Fiend belt. You know, with the leather strap and
no, I'll buy you a Triple H onesie so it go like the Triple H face goes over and has the big mustache. So like Triple H.
A really good match. It's not mainstream or anything like that, but it just shouting outs to some of the guys that we work with on a regular basis. Aaron West versus Jack Ram Lethal in a dog collar match.
Ooh.
That's a really good match.
I was involved in that.
Yes, he was. That was a really good match. Ron Mathis versus Davey Richards. Either one of them was really good. We've got a lot of just really good wrestling in the West Virginia area.
Yeah.
And I can't be happier about it. We've got a lot of
great talent in such a, I don't want to say small area, but like,
if y'all have never seen anything of Ron Mathis, look him up. He is fantastic. He's in the New Jersey area a lot.
He works in Jersey a lot for H2O.
Yeah, him and Bruce Gray both, and Tyler Vox.
What would you say his style's like? You'd say.
Oh, he's a brawler.
Yeah, he's a brawler.
He can do technical. He's a fantastic technical wrestler. But if you had to sum it up, he's a brawler.
His whole gimmick is pure white trash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of him because we had Kennedy Copeland on the podcast, and she wrestles in H2O, I think.
Yeah.
Ron Mathis is fantastic. I was a fan of him way back in the day before like I ever even thought about actually being a wrestler. I went to a local show and he was there, and I was just like, that's my guy. I loved Ron Mathis then. And then I've had the opportunity to, like, he stayed the night at my house multiple times. We've had car rides together, and I've learned so much about the business from him, and being able to watch him wrestle is just phenomenal. So, like, if you guys should absolutely look up Ron Mathis and watch some of his stuff. He is fantastic.
Definitely. He's on our list, right, Joe?
Yep.
He's really, really good.
We say that, yet our list is so unseen yet. You have lots of wrestlers that we want on this podcast. Some of them we can't even reach. Like I want Rey Mysterio and his son. That's one of my dream interviews.
That'd be cool. Hey, just keep working, and eventually one day you might be able to do it. Like it's very corny and cliche, but you can literally do anything you set your mind to.
Definitely.
Because you're your big worst enemy. So like the only thing that get in your way is you. All you got to do is just get out of your own way and just work hard, and eventually you'll do whatever it is you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
There's my good advice for the day.
Yeah. The more you know, you get that. You get the star, the more you know above your head.
Yeah.
Get that out of here. You got the thumbs up. No.
What's another like favorite match of yours? I mean, Taker and Shawn at WrestleMania 24 and 25 were obviously, or 25 and 6. Those were fantastic matches.
Gargano versus Cole.
Gargano versus Cole. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, WrestleMania really weekend. One of my favorite matches.
I still really like the Fatal 4-Way of Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd. That was a really, really good match.
Love that match.
The one that always sticks out to me when someone's like, if you have to show someone one match, you know, to get them into wrestling or whatever, they've never seen wrestling, show them one match.
Rock Lee versus Gara.
Shut the hell up. Shinsuke and Sammy from TakeOver Houston.
That was awesome. That match was Dallas, right?
Houston or Dallas. It was in Texas. I know that. My favorite thing about that match, though, is that until that match happened, they had never been in a ring together.
No. It was a really good match, too. Bailey and Sasha.
I would show somebody Okada versus Shibata.
Sammy versus Cesaro in the 2 out of 3 falls.
I miss some of the early NXT stuff.
Yeah.
I miss old NXT.
You don't like the whole tie-dyed NXT?
No, it's okay, but it's not what it used to be.
I don't get that aspect because I watch it weekly, and they've gotten so much edgier now since they rebranded.
I don't know. It's not feeling the same for me.
I mean, yeah, it's a different look, but that's just cosmetic.
I'm just not getting the same feeling. It might just be because a lot of the guys that you used to see aren't on there anymore. Some of them just actually left, and some of them just aren't on TV anymore. But
most of them got released.
It just doesn't feel the same to me anymore. Like, it's okay. I'm enjoying it, but it's...
Right.
It's like certain wrestling, you could really, like, see certain wrestlers in the indies and think, like, okay, this match is going to be good. And certain indies, you're like, okay, this match is going to be corny. Like, yeah.
I like all wrestling, like, regardless. Like, I'm going to watch something and see if I can take anything away from it. But if I'm watching something and I'm not enjoying it, I'm not enjoying it. And that's subjective. Not everyone is that way, because there's something for everybody whenever it comes to wrestling. And you're not going to get something for you every single time you watch it.
Another match I'd show people is Okada Shibata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how hard hitting that match really was and how brutal.
You see where Shibata's coming back?
Yeah. He'll be at Wrestle Kingdom, which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
The dude is a beast, man. You know, he's had concussions and now
I was gonna say, he got like hit so hard he went blind.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
the man
now
beat
he's back.
blindness.
He's back.
Took blindness to Funky Town.
Yeah. Deadass.
I want to see who he's facing. I would love to see, and this is just me being a fan. I hope he's okay. Shibata versus Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Kingdom.
That'd be so good.
That'd be a lot of fun. I'm really happy with how Danielson's been doing in AEW. He doesn't even have a gimmick. He's just a good wrestler. He just goes out there and kicks people in the face.
Yeah.
And he can curse now. He's not like censored. He can curse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not bogged down. He gets to go out there and do what he does best, and that's be one of the best wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Before Okada, there was Bryan Danielson on the independent circuit. You gotta remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder when AEW is going to decide to do Danielson versus Punk.
Right.
They're probably building up to it. It's probably
I could see it, but that needs to be like one of the biggest shows that they've ever done. Like, it needs to be the biggest show of the year. It needs to have some, like, I wouldn't even say it needs to have some big stakes because the match alone will sell itself, but the match is going to be a big deal, so it needs to be treated like a big deal. And AEW does a pretty good job at doing that anyway, so I have complete faith in them. Whenever they decide to go down that route, I have faith that they'll do it right.
We've had a discussion about this on the podcast, and some other people have discussed it. That match should be a last priority.
They should absolutely keep Punk and Bryan far away from each other until they're ready to do it.
Yeah, because the reason why that match should be a last priority, because there's so many people Bryan Danielson can wrestle. Mm-hmm. There's so many people CM Punk can wrestle that they've never wrestled before.
Yeah.
What they'll probably do with it is if they start to go downhill, like their ratings are dropping and stuff like that, then they'll start the build to it. That'll tune a lot of people in.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint, that'd be the smartest thing to do if they have to do it.
Can we just get like Danielson versus Danhausen?
With the broken
leg.
Man.
Yes.
Dude, I can't. Danhausen's coming. He's going to be here in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to be at ASW.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And the Mortons and
Robert Gibson.
Yeah, Robert Gibson. Rock and Roll Express, baby.
Yeah.
I love the rock.
I joke around all the time because, like, when I first started getting, like, bookings and stuff, when I got back into it, it was right after the pandemic had, like, taken full effect here. And I always joked around. I said, man, I've spent more time with Ricky Morton and his son than I have my own family throughout this pandemic, because it was every other weekend I saw Ricky and Gary.
Like, they come to town a lot, and it's awesome. Like, a lot of people are like, from a fan's perspective, it's like they were just here last month. Why would I go and see them again? It's the novelty of it is gone, but it's still Ricky Morton. It's still the Rock and Roll Express. See it regardless.
Yeah.
But from a worker's perspective, that's like once a month, every other month, twice a month that you get to sit and learn and just pick the brain of Ricky Morton, one of the greatest minds of this business, one of the greatest
greatest baby face to ever exist.
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest tag team wrestlers ever. For a tag team, that's awesome. Like, if I get the opportunity to learn stuff about tag team wrestling from really good tag team wrestlers, I'll take it every single step of the way.
Yeah, I want to get famous.
Yeah.
Chat.
But anyway,
it'd be stupid to not take any opportunities that you get.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Totally. Do you guys collect anything?
I collect a lot of like wrestling figures. I've got a Ricky Steamboat signed figure. I've got a Foley signed figure. I've got a figure signed by Carlito.
Wow.
You got the Shockmaster.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got a Shockmaster figure that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And he's upside down in the box, like he fell through the wall.
Yeah.
And like if you flip the box around, the box is actually cut out like he fell through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
I had a friend that lived out that way. He's passed away since then, actually.
Oh.
But I had a friend that lived out that way at the time, and he hit me up, and he's like, hey, if I go to this Comic-Con, do you want this figure? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And Jerome was an internet friend. I've never met him, unfortunately. And with, something like that, you're kind of like, am I really going to get it, or are they just talking,
Yeah.
And months went by, and I never got it. And then one day, I got this box at my house, and I'm like, what is this? And I cut it open, and it's got this Shockmaster figure in it. It's got all kinds of, like, backstage passes from concerts he went to, all kinds of cool, like, VIP stuff that he'd collected over the years.
Oh, wow.
I've got, recently I picked up, a couple of years ago at our local minor league baseball field, they had Jim Ross come in for a signing. And recently they did a rummage sale at the ballpark, getting rid of a bunch of stuff because they just renamed our team. So they're getting rid of all the power stuff to make room for all the new stuff. And I picked up a game. It was the ball that Jim Ross threw out for the first pitch at signed by Jim Ross.
They got rid of that? You serious?
Yeah, how much you want to think I paid for it?
Oh, I could say $50-$60.
$5.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
$5.
What?
Dirty birds, Bubby.
Yeah.
Dirty birds.
Yeah. I've got one of the old WWE magazines with Tori Wilson on the cover from like 2005, like the 4th of July special.
I think I remember that when she's like this. Right?
She's got the hot dogs in the red, white, and blue bikini.
Oh yeah.
Probably from like 2006, 2007. I've got one of those that's signed by her. What else do I have? I've got the 20 or 30 year anniversary scrapbook in the Midnight Express signed by Jim Cornette.
That's awesome.
I've got all kinds.
I didn't even know you had that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I've got stuff for days that I even forget I have.
I forget every single time I come over to your house that you have that cutout of Paige.
Yeah, yeah, I have a cutout of Paige.
I come out of the bathroom and she's just staring at me. I'm like,
it wasn't even mine. My friend, a friend of mine moved in for a little bit, and when he moved out, he's like, I just don't have anywhere for this at my new house. You can keep it.
That's like a funny tie-in. When we had Shorty from the UK, her friend was like saying, "Oh, you're having Paige on the podcast," and I was like, "No, we're not. We're having Shorty." No, you're having Paige, and I'm just like, "Nope, I don't remember that on my schedule." I'm even looking at my calendar. I'm like, "I don't have a Paige. Did I pay for a Paige and I didn't realize it?" and then I find out the guy in the chat comes in and goes, "Oh, hey, Paige," and she's like, "Oh God, you broke kayfabe on me," and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's the guy that was saying on Instagram you have Paige." Thinking I'm getting duped. Oh yeah, before I met Mod's head explodes. Do you have any pets?
I have a cat.
I have.
Where's my cat?
I don't know.
Kiki.
That cat hides all the time.
Kiki.
I've got.
There she is. She's sleeping on the futon.
I've got a dog. How many fucking cats do I have now?
At least 3 that I've seen.
I have 4. So I've got 2 kittens and then 2 other cats that we took in.
Oh.
I love animals. Animals are just fantastic. Like,
yeah,
dog. I'm definitely a dog person, but
Same.
I love animals in general.
I'm starting to get used to cats because my sister has now. Well, my sister and her fiance have 2 cats each, so I have to get used to cats and their movements and how fast they are, and they don't want to be near you. They're gone. I'm like, oh, hi. Oh, I guess I'm not worth it.
No. My cat's fantastic because, like, she is very lovable, but at the same time, like, when we adopted her, she had apparently, like, lived underneath the house for a while. So whenever we adopted her from the adoption agency, she was still a recluse, like, even to them for the most part. She was just now warming up to them. So she still does like to run and hide from us every now and then. But, like, now we've had her for closer to a year, and she's the sweetest baby girl in the world. I'm trying to get her used to being picked up because she's not huge on that. But, like, I'll just pick her up and I'll hold her for like 5 minutes, just like that, and you can look at her and you can look at her face, and she's just not enjoying it the entire time.
Right.
But the more I do it, the more used to it she'll get, and hopefully one day she'll just be cool with it, and she'll just hop up on my lap all the time and stuff. But she's a good kitty.
So
she gives you the look like, yeah, no, this is not happening.
No, this is her house.
Yeah,
you're just living in it.
Yeah. Then pay some bills.
She's gonna come at you like Brian Griffin with the bat, like, boom, where's my money, bitch?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Where's my money, Brian? Where's my money?
Where's my money, Brian?
I made a TikTok video like that with this other girl that was doing the duet, and I totally didn't get. I'm gonna have to do it again because I didn't get it right. Because she swings the bat and I fall, and I'm like, I gotta do it again. Because I have my glasses fall off and everything. It's like I have to, because these glasses aren't real. I can't do it with my real glasses. Mom,
those aren't real. Oh my lord! Just for show.
Yep.
You're a fraud.
They're prop glasses.
These are kayfabes.
Kayfabe glasses. There you go.
See, these are the real ones. The dirtiest ones you'll find.
Ah.
Dirty glasses. I don't know how I work with these on. No wonder I get things wrong.
Clean them, man. Clean them, brother.
Gotta clean them.
I'm the world's worst about like trying to clean my glasses. Because I'm like, I can see fine. And then everybody's like, how do you see through those? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
They're
you
not
put them
dirty.
back on, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I can see them now. Now I'm paying
the
attention
camera.
to it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
clean your glasses.
I did
All
before I
I
left the
see
house.
is
That's the worst.
All I see is dirt.
So, do you guys have any advice for upcoming wrestlers or people want to become wrestlers in the future?
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Like if you want to be a wrestler, stop waiting and do it. Yeah, don't let your dreams be dreams. Do it.
Just do it.
Just like being a podcaster. There you go. All right. I wanted to do it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it because it's.
I went years without doing it.
It's going to be one of the greatest things you've ever done, or like not to be negative, or it's not going to work out. But at the end of the day, you're going to say, "Hey, I gave it a shot, and I'm not on my deathbed now saying what if."
Yeah, because like you can, if you have aspirations of being a wrestler or a podcaster or anything that you want to do, but you're on the fence about it, you're like, I don't know if it's for me or anything like that. You miss every single shot you don't take.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, you have to try it. Like, so to anyone that wants to be a wrestler, just do it.
And like,
the
thing with wrestling too is, man, there's room for everyone in wrestling. You don't have to get into wrestling to be a wrestler. Like in this area specifically, man, we need referees bad, but nobody wants to be a referee now. No. Everybody wants the glory of being a wrestler, but we need referees, we need managers, we need valets, we need ring announcers, we need commentators, we need photographers, we need, there's room for everybody in wrestling.
Shout out to my girlfriend, one of the best photographers ever. And she loves, like I bring her to the shows and she'll take pictures of like all the boys and the matches and stuff like that. And she didn't realize just how much the boys appreciated that kind of stuff until after, like, she sent me some of the pictures and I sent them in some of the group chats and they're like, wow, this is really good. Thank you. Like, this is awesome. I'm like, if y'all want her to take more pictures, just tell her she'll take more pictures. There's no shortage of stuff to do in wrestling.
Yeah. There's referees, there's the bell guy, there's the guy that takes the outfits from the wrestlers. Like that.
There's valets. There's
sometimes that's a wrestler in training. Right?
Sometimes
am I right? Like the person that takes the attire from the wrestler. That's
sometimes it's just the announcer that does it. Sometimes it just sits there on the apron until the end of the match, and the referee carries it back whenever he goes back.
Yeah.
It just depends. But I mean, there's no shortage of things to do in wrestling, and you'll never know if it's for you. And if you can be successful at it until you take that shot. So my biggest advice for people that want to be a wrestler is just do it and keep an open mind about everything.
Well, and one more question. This is, what would you say your parents' reaction was when you told them you were going to become a wrestler?
My mom was terrified. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 9 years old. And I told her that was my dream, was to be a professional wrestler. And she was like, you can do anything you set your mind to, honey. And then as I got older, I grew out of it and stuff. But then the opportunity came back up, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm going to be a wrestler. And so I finally told her, and she's like, oh, it's real. Oh, like you're actually doing this. Okay. Just be careful. Just be careful. Don't get hurt.
Yeah.
That was my mom's reaction to it.
I was 17 my first day of training, and my mom drove me there because I didn't drive at the time. She took me to my first day of training, and my mom and dad both have been nothing but super supportive of like me wanting to do this. I feel like that'll probably change in the next 6 to 12 months when I tell my mom I'm quitting my job to wrestle full time. But that's what I want to do. I want to wrestle full time. I've had the last 6 weeks off of work dealing with my appendix, and this past week was my first week back. And I realized I hate working. I don't want to do this the rest of my life.
I want to stay.
And I had a couple shows while I was off, dealing with my appendix, and I was like, you know what, like, if I'm gonna do this full time, like, I got to make that commitment soon, because I'm not getting any younger. I'll be 30 in like 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
Old ass.
Yeah.
You don't want to be 30. It gets a little scary after that.
It gets a little old.
The
hell up. It's been downhill since 27 for me. So.
Yeah, there's no time like the present. That goes back to the do it thing. Is you're only going to get older, and you never know. Tomorrow you might get into a terrible accident that might paralyze you.
Yeah.
Just do it. Do whatever you want to do.
I might get taken to Funky Town tomorrow.
You might get taken to Funky Town tomorrow.
I've had a few times.
Just like we're going to take Will Huckabee and Crash Cassidy to Funky Town next week in Bluefield, West Virginia.
Oh, breaking news. We always ask
breaking news. Breaking news. There we go. Breaking news. Breaking news.
You have to do it again. Say it again so Geek can put breaking news on the screen so you can have
That's okay.
Oh, Geek.
It's not breaking news. It's probably a match that's already announced already, right?
Yeah.
It has been announced, but your audience might not have seen it. And if there's anyone that's close to that area, feels like making the drive, or feels like taking the plane ride, and they want to come to Bluefield, West Virginia to see the Circus of Pain take Will Huckabee and Crash Cassidy to Funky Town for Premier Wrestling League, please come do it. We would love to see you there, and you can make fun of us and say we're funky looking clowns, and we'll say y'all are the clowns.
Yeah, you're gonna die, clown.
Yep.
Clown, you're the clown.
Clowns, but
we're not clowns. They're clowns.
Is there any where the people could find you or?
But obviously you can find us at any of the shows that we're on. But the best way to find out about that is you can find me on Facebook at Shawn Baker. You can find me on Instagram at Shawn Baker Wrestling on Instagram. I've got a pro wrestling tees. That's pro wrestling tees / Shawn Baker merch.
I think that's all you've got.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/theattractionjm. On Instagram, _theattraction __. You can find me on Twitter, but I don't really use it, so it's at theattractionjm. And then I have all my stuff up on Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/theattractionjm. Or you can go over to the Brainbusters Tees link that is on the screen there.
You can get this cool little shirt.
Yeah, this little baseball tee for the Circus of Pain.
Plug it. There you go. Plug it.
Plug it.
Yeah, I've got these on there. I've got hoodies of these, t-shirts of these, tank tops of these. I've got fanny packs with another design on it. I've got face masks. I've got hats. I've got beanies.
New merch coming soon.
Yeah,
Eat your heart out, Gen Z.
Yeah.
The merch king.
Hey, look, we just got a cricket the other day, and I'm coming for that title, Z.
It's coming for the merch king title.
Yeah. Generation Zachary.
Yeah, taking you to Funky Town, Generation Zachary.
Yep. That's a wrestler. I thought you meant Gen Z, like real Gen Z. I'm like, these kids are going to get knocked out.
No, there's a wrestler named Gen Z, and he's just like all the kids that you know of.
Oh,
where are we dropping, boys? He's got one of his finishing moves is, what is it, Chicken Nug Nug?
Something like
Chicken Nug Nug. Remember that, geek?
Chicky Nuggy.
Yeah, chicken. That's what it is, Chicky Nuggy. It's like a shining wizard to the back of your head. He calls it Chicky Nuggy or something like that.
Can you imagine the kid yelling "Chicky Nuggy" in the crowd?
Yeah, he's so over, and I hate it.
It's because
he's a kid and he just does a little Fortnite dance, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" It's amazing.
Geek computer died. Oh no! Did your computer
panic? Nobody panic! Dog and house fire. This is fine.
Yes, we're all fine. Now I gotta just keep talking because Geek was
all fine here now. How are you?
Oh, there he is. He's back.
StreamYard kicked me out again. It does not like me.
Your face. All right, guys.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for coming on the
Thanks
podcast.
For having us. I've had a good time.
Absolutely, it's been a blast.
I don't know if Joe's got anything left. I think right.
I got nothing else. Wait, one more funny question. Have you guys ever created yourselves any of the 2K games?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
If you're not if you're a wrestler and you haven't done that, you're lying. It never looks like me, but I don't have the patience to sit there and change the facial features. And I like to think I'm more jacked than I am. So,
right. No, the biggest compliment, man, is every once in a while you get a fan that messages you and they're like, "Hey, man, look at this." And they send you a picture and they've created you in 2K.
I've got an awesome picture that someone made me recently.
Which 2K? Is it 2K19?
Maybe.
I don't even know where I shared it.
Yeah.
There it is.
All that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
My girlfriend had that made for me. It was awesome.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And it glows in black light.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to J.R. Earls.
He
killed it.
The guy that did our logo, his name is Joe Alphabet. He's on Instagram. You should check
Joe
him
Alphabet?
out. Yeah.
I'll look him up.
No, it's Joe. No, it's Joe. It's Joe, and it goes Al. Bet.
Okay.
Like so it's
super
not
nice guy from Canada.
Joe Alphabet.
Yeah. Super sweet. He just found his hat. He has one of these his beanies he wears, and I guess he lost it and made a whole cartoon strip about that. He couldn't find it. He thought he lost it. He put a bag on his character's head. Embarrassed. And then his character's sleeping. And he's like, "Why does my pillow feel all bunched?" And then he picks up the pillow and goes, closes his face. And the next picture is him with the pillow in the hat, and you see his eyes and face go red. I mean, the hat was there the whole time.
That's how it works, man. I lose stuff all the time, and then it's just exactly where it's supposed to be. I'm like, oh, okay then. Nice to see you. I can't wait till I need you next week, and you're gone.
Yeah.
That's wrist tape for me.
Yeah.
I always think I have more wrist tape than I actually have.
Yeah.
Because Ron Mathis takes it all.
Hey, man, who's got the wrist tape?
Yeah. If you don't have wrist tape, I'm taking you to Funky Town. Hardcore country. Oh.
Geek, what happened?
Yeah, StreamYard keeps. I told you, StreamYard keeps kicking me out. I think it's time to end the show.
I thought you had a clone.
Yeah.
He's on the opposite side of the computer. He's going.
Yeah, I was wondering why you hadn't moved for a minute.
Again?
Yeah.
All right,
anyway,
guys.
Thank you so much for coming on a podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We'll have to have you guys all next year.
I'm 100% down for it. I'd love to be back.
Absolutely. We'll make sure to get Demonia in on this one too.
Then
she can
send
do
her
her face
love.
paint.
Tell her she's welcome when she's ready.
Absolutely.
Love to.
You guys will be the first ever tag team with their manager to ever come on the podcast because we never.
She's an awesome manager too.
Is she the mouthpiece? Last question. Is she the mouthpiece, or you?
No, not at all. So
we share the mouthpiece for the most part.
Share.
Yeah, I talk a lot, but it works out because I'm good at it. So, but
no, she's just kind of breaking in like this match I had a couple weeks ago, the one that he wasn't able to be in when we were wrestled Dark Clouds.
Freaking COVID
was her first time managing, so she is super uncomfortable with a microphone right now.
But she's a hell of
handshakes. She's the meme with the guy holding the coffee and the coffee spilling all over the place.
She's just in her head.
Yeah,
she's in her own head.
That's sad. You know, like some people in the wrestling, they could be the quiet manager. Some people could be the Mr. Fuji and take over the whole team.
Yeah.
So like her whole goal with managing too is to be as much like Baby from House of a Thousand Corpses as she can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like she doesn't really need to talk for us. It's going to be more of the, you know, cutesy, flirtsy, psycho bitch shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'd blow a kiss at you next minute. She's hitting you in the head with the steel chair.
Exactly. She's going to be the one to take you to Funky Town.
Yeah.
But remember, you guys got to look up Masha Mayhem. You know, that's a team you guys got to look up.
Absolutely.
I'll look them up.
Yeah.
I want to work everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They have a manager with makeup on their face too, so you know.
Oh, sweet.
Circus of Pain versus the world.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Take the whole world to Funky Town.
You got to make that T-shirt.
We'll do it.
Bro.
Put just like it's a globe. I'm not going to say it because we'll give somebody else the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I see what you're doing. Go to Funky Town.
All right.
Mr. Burns meme.
All right. Once again, thanks again for coming on the podcast. Take care,
Thanks
guys.
for having
Thank
me,
you.
man.
It was a blast.
Later.
See ya.
That was a fun interview, Joe. Right?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. A good 2-hour interview with the Circus of Pain right there. So for those of you that don't know, we've got a podcast this Tuesday. It's the first one. We're going to be doing all about movies. You want a drum roll, please, Joe? On the pit. Keep going. Keep going, Joe. Keep going.
I wonder what the first episode's about.
It's going to be about Ghostbusters. There you go. All right.
Hi, friends.
So remember, check us out this Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's the Popcorny Podcast.
Here.
So right here on
we're
Twitch,
going to have some friends too. Friends on panel.
All right.
So we will see you tonight at 8. See you later.